Whispering Vale, the village of Yansui, lay nestled deep within the mountains of southern China, shrouded by ancient forests and wrapped in a thick, unyielding fog. The locals said the mist never lifted, no matter the time of day or season, as if a spectral veil hung between the village and the outside world. Travelers who happened upon Yansui rarely stayed longer than a day, unnerved by the silence that clung to the village like a shroud and the faint whispers that seemed to ride the fog itself. Ling, a young woman who had recently returned from the city, was the only one who dared to wander the village at night. Her grandfather, the village elder, had passed away only months earlier, leaving behind an air of mystery and sorrow. Ling had come home to settle his affairs, but soon found herself drawn to a particular spot in the village, a well hidden in the deepest part of the woods, known to the villagers as the Whispering Well. One spoke of the well aloud. Children were warned never to approach it, and the elders would only nod gravely when asked. But Ling's curiosity was a restless flame. One evening, under the dim light of a waning moon, she found herself standing before the moss-covered stone well. The air around it was colder, heavier, as if the veil of fog thickened there. As she peered into the darkness below, a faint voice seemed to ripple through the mist. "Help me," Ling's breath caught. The voice was soft, mournful, and unmistakably that of a young girl. The next morning, Ling began to ask the villagers about the well, and the voice, old Mr. Chen, the village historian, reluctantly told her the tale of Mei, a girl who had vanished decades ago near that very well. Legend said Mei had been lured by a shadowy figure never to be seen again. Since then, the villagers believed her spirit was trapped beneath the veil of fog, whispering for release. But Ling sensed there was more to the story, something the villagers feared to face. As days passed, Ling's dreams grew haunted by images of Mei's pale face and sorrowful eyes. The whispers became louder at night, calling her deeper into the woods. Determined to uncover the truth, Ling prepared to confront whatever lay beneath the Whispering Veil. The days following Ling's encounter at the Whispering Well were heavy with unease. The villagers seemed to avoid her gaze, their eyes darting away whenever she pressed for answers. It was as though the very air in Yansui had thickened, pressing in on her chest, whispering secrets just beyond her hearing. Ling found herself waking before dawn, drawn once again to the forest's edge. The fog was thicker here than anywhere else, curling around the twisted roots and ancient trees like living smoke. It muffled all sound except the soft rustle of leaves and the distant cry of a night bird. One morning, as she wandered deeper than before, Ling stumbled upon an old shrine partially swallowed by ivy and moss. The shrine was dedicated to a forgotten deity, its red paint faded, carved characters nearly illegible. Faint chill ran down her spine as she touched the weathered stone. That night, the whispers returned with a strange urgency. Mei's voice was clearer now, and it no longer pleaded for help but warned, "Beware the veil. Do not trust the fog." Ling's dreams were invaded by flickering images of a woman in a flowing black robe, her face hidden beneath a veil of silk, moving silently through the mist. She carried a lantern that glowed with an eerie light, and wherever she passed, the fog deepened and shadows lengthened. The next day, Ling sought out old Mrs. Wu, the village's oldest resident. Her hands trembled as she spoke, recounting the legend of the Veil Woman. Long ago, Mrs. Wu whispered there was a healer in the village, a woman with powers to mend both body and spirit. But her heart was darkened by jealousy and sorrow. They say she made a pact with spirits of the mist to bind her own pain into the fog. The veil you see is her curse and her prison, Mrs. Wu's eyes welled with tears. She took Mei, the healer's daughter, when the girl tried to free the village from the curse. Now her spirit wanders, trapped between worlds, lost in the veil. As Ling listened, a cold wind swept through the room, carrying the faintest trace of a lullaby a song Mei once sang. The veil was more than mist. It was a boundary between life and death, hope and despair. Determined to break the curse, Ling prepared for the night ahead. She knew that to find Mei's spirit and free her, she must walk into the heart of the veil where no living soul dared tread. The night air was thick, almost suffocating, as Ling stepped beyond the village's edge and into the mist-wrapped forest. The fog clung to her skin like a cold breath from another world, and every step felt heavier, as if the very ground resisted her passage. But she pressed on, guided by the faint glow of an ancient lantern she had taken from the Shriner relic said to pierce the veil between worlds. Her heartbeat echoed in her ears, mingling with distant whispers that ebbed and flowed like the tide. The veil was alive, a shifting entity of mist and shadow, and Ling could feel its eyes watching, waiting. Suddenly, the forest opened into a small clearing where a gnarled tree rose like a sentinel. Beneath its roots lay the Whispering Well. Ling approached cautiously, lowering the lantern's light into its depths. The darkness seemed to ripple as if hiding a secret far older than the village itself. From the shadows, a figure emerged, a woman draped in silken black robes, her face veiled in silk. "The Veiled Woman, you come seeking truth," the apparition said, her voice like the rustle of dead leaves. But some truths carry curses. Ling's resolve did not waver. "Release me. Free her spirit." The Veiled Woman laughed, a sound that was both beautiful and terrible. "Your ancestors bound me here, using blood and sorrow to trap me. May's fate is entwined with mine. To free her, you must unravel the curse rooted in your bloodline." Ling's mind raced, recalling the fragmented stories her grandfather once whispered, tales of betrayal, jealousy, and forbidden rituals that had torn the village apart generations ago. The Veiled Woman extended a pale hand. "You carry the key, child of Yansui, but beware the curse is hunger, and it will devour all who stand against it." Ling reached out, touching the veil of silk. A flood of memories surged through her, visions of fire, betrayal, and a mother's desperate pact with the spirits to save her child. In that moment, Ling understood the curse was not just a punishment but a desperate act of love twisted by dark forces. To break it, she would have to face the sins of her ancestors and confront the shadow lurking beneath the veil. The forest seemed to close in, the whispers growing louder, urging her forward. Ling steeled herself for the final journey into the heart of the veil where past and present collided, and the fate of May, the village, and her own soul hung in the balance. The nights grew colder, and the whispering veil thickened like a living shroud. Lena felt its pull more strongly than ever. The voices of the lost seemed closer, urgent. One evening, beneath the silver tree, Lena found a new message woven into the fog, a child's voice, trembling yet clear. "Help us," it whispered. The old woman reappeared, her eyes more knowing. "The veil's stories are unfinished. A darkness stirs beneath the forest. Only the keeper can bring light." Lena wrapped the starlit veil tight around her shoulders. The tapestry she wove now held shadows and hope intertwined. The villagers gathered as she told the stories, preparing for what was to come, a journey beyond the veil itself.